Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on when you are watching this video and where you are watching from. Okay, my name is Prisca, your one and only tutor for this PHP course. So I'll be taking you guys on setting up environment for PHP and the basic syntax and structures of PHP. From our last class, I taught you guys introduction to PHP, and I believe you guys have understood the meaning of PHP, what it stands for, and the role it plays in the web development. So now um, without wasting much of our time, let's proceed to setting up the environment. The first thing there is the installing of PHP. But for you to install PHP, once your Zamp is installed, you can install PHP. Once your Zamp is installed, you don't need PHP because Zamp comes with PHP, right? Even with the latest version of it. So I heard somebody saying in the back end Slack group some time ago that why do we have to use Zamp or PHP? Why can't we use the latest technologies? So I'm here to say once again that it is your choice, right? As a beginner, we start with the technologies that you could understand and you will find yourself using on a daily basis. So it is your choice to decide which one you want to go with. But for this course, for this program, we are going to be using Xampp, which most beginners use to learn. And for your information, you can make use of Docker. You can use Docker. Wamp is also same of is just like an alternative of Zamp. You can use Docker and so many other technologies out there that you can make use of. If you don't feel like using Zamp, is your choice. But I am using Zamp, right, to teach you guys this course. So let's proceed. Now the first thing to do is download. Go to your browser, type download Zamp, right? So once we install Zamp, our PHP is installed. We don't need to go and start installing PHP separately. And then you come here, click on the first link you get. Make sure the link is Apache Friends. You can see it at the top here, apachefriends.org. Then now you scroll up. This is for Windows, this is for Linux, and this is for OS, right? So I'm using OS, so I'll be clicking on the download. As you can see, there's different PHP version. There is version 8.0, 8.1, 8.2.4, and all of that. So my system, I'll be choosing version 8.2.4. Once you click on these downloads, it will automatically download for you. If not, you can click here. You can see what they say there. Your download will start automatically. If it doesn't, click here. So mine has started. You can see it here. But because I already have Zamp installed, I will have to stop mine. So you proceed in installing your own. Once you are done, locate this Zamp in your download folder, double click on it and just follow the simple processes of installing it by following a simple instruction that will appear on your screen. And when it is done, you are done successfully installing it, just come to your local host, type local host. Okay, once you type local host, it should bring you here, which means you have successfully installed Zamp, right? And then if you want to see your PHP admin, that's your local host, look at it here, click on this. It brings you to your what? PHP my admin. That means you have successfully installed Zamp. It's not really hard, right? It's not really hard. It is easily installed. Once you download it, you're good to go, right? And then the next thing is installing and downloading your IDE. Now there are many IDE. There is PHP Storm, Sublime. There's many IDE out there, but I prefer VS Code. Yes, that's what I started with. And even at my level, I still prefer VS Code. I can install any extension I want, though I can use PHP Storm, which is what most people are using, but I prefer VS Code, and that is what I am using, right? So I will advise you do so, but you can make your choice as well. So once you are done with your Zamp, the next thing is proceed to downloading PHP. Now click on PHP. Download. Proceed to downloading your VS Code. I think I made a mistake in my statement. Download VS Code. Okay. Now this is the first link. Click on it. VS Studio, visualstudio.com. Click on it. Now you are here. So You can either choose the one for Windows, this, that, or for Mac, right? If you click on, if this is for Windows, if you click on it, it automatically download. You don't need to install it. It's an app. It will download and show the icon on your system. Look at my own icon down here, Visual Studio Code. So that is basically what it is. Once you download it, you click on it to open. This is how it will show. Let me see if mine will open. Sorry. Okay. I think I actually opened it right. Okay. Once you get it downloaded, click on it. This is how it will show. It will open this way. Now, what is the first thing you have to do? As I told you, there are so many extensions you can install to make your coding easy and understanding, right? Some of the extensions I will recommend is this. Okay. Some of mine requires the upload. Some of the extensions you can see there is Docker here too. Some of the extensions I recommend is PHP IntelliFence. IntelliFence is already installed on mine. This is it. If you click on it, you can see it's from Ben Milburn. So try to download the exact one, then click on install. It's installed on your VS Code. You have nothing to worry about. There's no place you're going to set it up. Leave it like that. So the next one I will recommend is VS Code Great Icon, right? It's already installed on mine too. You can download that. Another one is tab 9. Did I make it? Yeah, this one. This one, once you install it, it will show you some things like sign in. Then click on that icon, it takes you to the browser. You can either sign in or you sign in with your Google account. Once you are done signing in, you have nothing else to do. It will help you when you are typing your code. It will help you autocomplete. It autocompletes your code for you, right? And makes your coding life easy. So these are everything I think, and as you move on, you can find more extensions to download, and as we move on, I can see the need to introduce you guys to more extensions to download, right? So now let's proceed to the main topic of today. As far as you've installed your Zamp, set it up, go to the menu by if it's Windows, type Zamp, then right click on it and then run as administrator. It will open, then you can be able to on your Zamp. Let me show you from my Mac interface is actually different. So this is my Zamp here. I click on it. Okay. Mac and security too much go. Okay, it's opening. Then it opens. This is how yours will still open, whether Windows or Mac. This is how it shows. Then click on manage servers. You are here. Mine is running. If you come here and it shows start, is not showing stopped. Oh, seems like mine actually stopped, right? Right or not? Anyways, just come here, click on start all, and you are good to go. Then you leave it, and then I think you are good to go, and your PHP is installed. Your VS Code, you are good to go. Then the next thing you have to do is locate your Zamp folder from your system. Then inside the Zamp folder, locate your htdocs. Locate your htdocs folder. Inside the Zamp folder, locate your htdocs. The moment you find your htdocs, inside that htdocs, create a folder. Let me show you an example. Okay, so okay, let me open my Zamp again. Mac has so much security. That is the most annoying part of it. Okay. Now, when you are here, click on. You don't need to start stressing yourself locating the Zamp folder. Once you open it like this, click on go to open application folder. It has opened this for you. Now, locate your htdocs folder. You can see htdocs here. Click on it. Now, inside this place, you can create any folder you want. Let's say you create a folder, right click, new folder, beginners, enter. Now this folder, when you go to your VS Code, select this folder, open it on your VS Code. Then inside that folder you open on your VS Code, which is this. Let me show you so it don't seem like I'm doing some miracle here. Now click on file. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to click on folder. Sorry. Open I keep making silly mistakes. Open folder. So how do I? Okay. Zamp is actually just applications. Shouldn't I be able to find my Zamp? So this is it. htdocs. Inside the htdocs, beginners. Now my beginners folder is opened here, right? Now that it is opened here, you'll be like, what then do you want me to do? Just go ahead and create a file, call it learning.php, and here we start. The moment you have gotten to this extent, then we start our coding process, right? So I won't be using my VS Code to run this code. I'll be using what we call PHP Storm, right? I think PHP Sandbox. So let me close this up, and the same place I opened, I think I created a folder somewhere. I will be taking it. Don't do what I'm doing, please. Just stop at the VS Code, then you open your folder, and we are good to go. So now you've created a file, you called it learning.php. Now let's move to the main topic of today, which is PHP tags, comments, variables, and data types, right? So now what is this PHP tags we are talking about? Now let me show you an example. I just created a file, I called it learning.php, right? In this PHP sandbox that I'm using, right? So now if I type let's assume I type echo. I will explain every single thing I'm doing, just listen. Echo hello, right? Enter. If I do preview here, see what it's showing me. It's not even recognizing this thing. It's just showing exactly the text I put there is what it's showing me here. It is not recognizing it as a PHP code. So now that is when the PHP task comes in. Now how do you when you create a PHP file, the first thing you must do is put a PHP tag. And what is that? Greater than, equals to, question mark, then the PHP. This is PHP tag. Then come down, close that tag. Question mark and less than. Now this is PHP tag. The opening tag and the closing tag. In some cases, it is not a must you close the tag. But as far as you know that than the tag, you are going to be writing the HTML code or something, or HTML form structure, you have to close the tag. So let's know this for now. So now that I've put the PHP tag, echo the same thing I did before, right? Now if I do a preview, it shows me hello. Now you could be wondering, what is this echo for? In PHP, for you to be able to display something on the browser, you must use echo. You must use echo. For you to be able to display something on the browser, you must use echo, right? You understand? So I'm just trying to show something on the browser, and that is echo I will use. Now that we've done what is PHP tags, what is the next thing in our timetable today? Comments. Now first thing I would like to let you know that comment is a part of the code that the machine ignores. It doesn't run it. And comment is important in some other ways. If I'm writing this code, let's say what should I check? If I set, right? Let's say I write a code like if set $underscore post submit. Now if you come here as a beginner, you don't know what I'm doing here, except the few that have gone advanced. You don't know what I'm doing here. Now how do comments come in? Comment comes in when I now say this line of code is used to check if the submit now you as a beginner, if you come in here If you come in here now and you see this thing, you don't know what I'm doing here, but the moment you read this, I've already explained exactly what I'm doing here using a comment. And if I run this code, or maybe I set every necessary thing and run this code, this line comment will not show on the browser. It can't show. It's not even possible because it's a comment. The machine ignores it. So that is what comment is, right? Now that we've done and know what comment is, let's move over to the next one. The next one is variables, which is one of the most important thing in PHP and the things you constantly see yourself using on everyday programming languages. Every day that you code, you see yourself making use of variables. Now, what is variables? To me, I would say variable are the things, let's say it's like a handbag that holds in all your money for you, right? If you are going out, you need a handbag, right? um Holding on to your phone, you might easily, it might slip off your hand and smash on the floor and all of that, but you put it inside your handbag. Whenever you need that phone, you get your handbag, go inside it and take the phone, right? So that's what a variable is literally. That is literally what a variable is, right? So now let me explain this. How do you start a variable in PHP? You don't start a variable with a hash, nera, or whatever sign. You make use of dollar sign. Dollar sign. When I say dollar sign, this is what I mean by dollar sign. That is what you use. That is what you use to start what a variable, right? So now let's create a variable. Call it variable 2. It's just a variable. We are going to name it variable 2. Now, I want to store um I want to no, let me start with a normal thing. Variable name, right? So my name is Prisca, and let's say I don't want to just take the Prisca like that and be going up and down. I want to keep it somewhere. So I will not give it Prisca. I will not create a variable and take this variable, hold on to this name for me, and that variable will not be what? Prisca. Any day I want to display Prisca on the screen, what do? I will call on what? Name. I will call that name because it is this name that when you give somebody something, if you come, will you call another person to get it? No, you call that same person you gave it to hold, and you call that same person to bring it. So I gave this name variable to hold on to the name, to the hold on to my name Prisca, right? So whenever I want to access Prisca or show it on the browser, I call on that name what? Variable. I hope you understand what variable is. So now there's one thing I want to make clear. I'm using PHP sandbox. If I do this, I might not encounter an error, or maybe there's a network. But if it's in your VS Code, it is a must that you end each of your PHP code line of code with a semicolon. It's a must. If it's a must, as you are coding along with me, you are writing it in your VS Code where you've created your learning.php files. I just told you, you must end it with a semicolon. If not, you will have an error. You will get an error. So, or you might not even display anything at all, right? I think there is a network issue. The sandbox is just not displaying. Okay, but just know that this name, I gave it Prisca and I echoed that the name. So why is it not displaying? And I've actually deleted it. Let's just refresh. A minute, please. Okay. Okay. So in here, say learning.php. Actually, oh wow. Okay. Which is Prisca. We end it with a semicolon and we echo out the variable name. So it's working fine now. As you can see, I echoed out the variable name, and what are you seeing here? It is Prisca. You are seeing what? Prisca. This is because what I want, my name is Prisca, and I told this name variable, hold on to Prisca for me. Whenever I want to display Prisca on the screen, I will call you and you will give it to me. And that is just exactly what happened here. And now that is what we call variable. We use variable to store strings, characters, or whatever it is for a later use, right? So now I hope you've understood what variable is for some certain at some certain point, which I know you know more of it, understand more of it, the more you put it into action. So the second one is not the last but not the least is what we call data types. Now there are so many data types of PHP, right? There are so many data types of PHP. One of them, I will list out the few that you will constantly see yourself using on a daily basis. They are strings, integer, boolean, and float. You see yourself making use of these things on a daily basis as a programmer, right? And then the other ones like null, object, array, these are also data types, right? No, you see yourself using it too, but these four that I just mentioned, you make use of it on a daily basis. Now let's proceed to seeing one of them. The first one is the string. Now what is string? Let's say create a variable string. Now what is string? A string is a series of characters in a double quote. That's it. So we are creating now. String is a data type, right? What you just saw here, you see this here, is a string. Is text. A string is text. When they say data type, there is string, there is integer, there is float, there is boolean. It's a normal thing that you know. String is text. As far as it is in a double quote, it is a string and is what? A text. Now I just hope you know that this is string. So let's just give it a name, learning. What you just saw here is a string. And then another variable is integer, right? Integer is numbers. The data type integer is referring to numbers. Let's give it number 6. Make sure you end with a semicolon. Then the next one is what we call float. Float is what? Decimal point. Float is what we call decimal points. Float integer data type is referring to decimal point, which is 3.5. Let's make sure we close with a semicolon. The next one is the next, or the last but not the least, but we are going to be talking on today, is boolean. Boolean is either true or false. Is a logical, right? Is that it? Is either true or false. Just know that, and you see yourself making use of these things. These other types I just listed for you. See yourself making use of it on a daily basis, and the no, you also get to use it too. When you want to check if something is no, you get to make use of no too, right? On a daily basis. So now these are the data types I just mentioned for you: the string, integer, float, boolean, and no. Now we are going to be echoing each and every one of them. There's no need of doing it in another line. Let's just do it together in the same line. Echo, oh wow. Echo, right? So if you do it like this, everything will appear in one line. Let me show you. See it, everything is in one line. So there's something called a break tag in HTML, right? HTML, so we get to know that too. And there's something called concatenation, right? So the next thing we do here is I think this should work. Should it? It should work, right? Okay, let me try this. This one worked. Okay. Oh, there's an error here. Okay, this works. Relax, you get to understand what I'm doing. I will explain it. Don't get confused. Okay. Okay, now what did I do? What did I just do? This is what I did, right? Um, did I think one, two, three, four, five. This no is not displaying because it's not actually, so it will still show you no. Okay, so for what I just did, this dot that I put, there's something called concatenation in PHP. You will still have to, we are going to get to that, but I will explain it now since we are already using it. There's something called concatenation, concatenating a variable and a string, right? When you want to add a variable and a string together, maybe HTML and a variable in PHP, you want to echo this is this person's name, you now echo it from PHP. You make use of concatenation because you can't put them together. And what is that? It is used, the concatenation is, you use dot to make a concatenation, right? You make use of dot. So what did I just do here? There is a learning string I assigned here. You say, but it's not a variable now. Yes, there are two strings, but I cannot put them together because there will be an error. It will appear to be an error. In fact, my code will not run. There will be an error, right? It has disappeared. So for me to add this string and this other string together and for them to show, I must concatenate it. And in PHP, what you use to concatenate is dot. And you are good to go, right? So what is this break tag? This tag you are seeing here, BR, is a break tag. Is in HTML tag, is a break tag to break things, to break a line. So if you want to break a line to go start with a new line, you make use of BR tag. So this is HTML. So I cannot just come, I have to make it in a string format. I cannot just come and do it like this, but let's try if it works. It doesn't work, right? I have to put it in a string format so it will work. That is the reason. So I hope you understand that what I just did now is concatenating the string learning with the break tag, the string break tag too. Same for every other ones here. So that is basically what I just did. So to round up this class, I hope you understand. We learned comments, we learned okay, there's something I forgot to mention. You might be wondering, how do you write a comment, right? We have multiple comments. Yeah, multi-commenting, like all of this. If you just want to comment all of them together, they are multi-comment, right? Though this is how it will appear, but just know that for you to comment a multi-comment, just do star, right? And then check, and that is it. This is what you used to do a multi-comment, like / star, and then at the end of it for backward slash star. You this is you making a multi-comment, commenting multiple lines, right? And then a single line comment is the one I just did. They just use a / twice and it's commented. I hope you understand that. And how do you now write a comment? Is it that you type it with your hand or you hold on to, I normally hold on to sorry, in Mac I hold on to command and then the equals to mark, it will now become a / there is to comment. But in Windows I think it's control and question mark will comment it. So that is just it. So rounding it up, I know and I believe that I've been able to impart you the knowledge of what is PHP tags, variables, integers, data types, and comments, and how to set up your environment. I also hope and believe that you tried all of these things with us, and if you did and it works, please let us know. And if you are having issues setting up your environment and all of that, please drop your questions or comments in the Slack. I'll be there to respond. Thank you, and looking forward to meeting you guys in our live session. Thank you guys.